Alright, and we are back for probably our only long break. We were actually chatting on christianchurch.com, letting people know that we're actually talking about the site. There's a lot of stuff that we want to cover about Dennis. In chat with us on live stream exclusively, and also co-hosted on agapejesus.com, we're going to talk to the site administrator through the chat. So for you guys that are looking at the YouTube videos, I will reread his answer before I have a reply. Just to let you guys know, Dennis is still in Ohio. He is somewhere around Dayton, Ohio. We dropped him off in Xenia, so he's made roughly 30 miles probably journey since Sunday. He's got a ride to Beaver Creek, I believe, yesterday, and set up his tent. Went to a Messianic church. Messianic people are actually Jews that believe in Jesus. Pretty awesome thing. And I'll have to try and get an update from him later. He may actually be in the chat too. He's got a smaller little laptop, so it's very difficult. Yes, this morning he was 320 miles from Peoria, Illinois. He's going to the National Missionary Convention Conference, and you should be able to see him there possibly. We're going to get him all set up for that. But I'm going to ask Gary, who's in the chat by the name of Buzznot, a few questions about Dennis. Gary, I have this question for you. Number one, what was your initial reaction once you found out about what Dennis was doing? Because, of course, we know Dennis created an Agape Jesus like MySpace profile on the site. So, Gary, what was your initial reaction on what you saw Dennis was doing? And what do you think about Dennis, as in just a first thought? What do you think, Gary?
There's a bit of a delay when it's
There's going to be a 30 to 60 second delay in asking questions, so I'll give him a little while to type. I know Gary's kind of been sick. He's really sick, but let's see if he's able to respond here. The first initial reaction Gary seems to have is when he first told me, I thought there was no way he could do this on his own. So Gary's saying he just couldn't understand and fathom how somebody can actually do the things that he's trying to do. So how many months did Dennis prepare and work through this stuff? Gary, here comes some more from Gary. He said he left his whole life in the hands of God, placing his faith in God to take care of his needs. Because we all know Dennis has like a 60 to 80 pound backpack, which covers food, water, a tent, toiletries, and he does not have any set destination. He had the Minnesota destination, he had Cincinnati, Chillicothe. Then he had the one in Washington, D.C., one in Georgia, Florida, then back to me, and then Peoria, Illinois. The rest of the trip was just straight up God. All right, Gary. How many? He said he left Minneapolis, Minnesota, May 30th with only a small amount of cash. See, I like doing these in-chat interviews. And if you guys are actually interested in covering a subject or whatever, just let us know and we can do this with you as well. Alright, Gary, that's some good coverage on what you think about Dennis. So let's fast forward to a little bit further in the trip. Like say when he finally met me, what were you thinking when I finally linked up with Dennis? Because to be honest with everybody, I watched what Dennis was doing. I was praying, seeing what God wanted me to do, and then I started to attend his online broadcast, and then I partnered with him and got him hooked up here because we really didn't know if he was coming here at all. Gary, what were your thoughts after we started talking to Dennis and he was actually here in Ohio the first time? What did you think about what God was doing from the 3 churches that he got to go to the interviews? What did you think? Gary says he's thrilled, and he followed him almost every night to hear how he was doing and how God was providing for him. Hello, James. James, we are having a in-chat interview with BuzzNot, who is the site administrator for AgapeJesus.com. And we're just asking questions. It looks like one of our other chat viewers wants to ask Gary a question. The question is how did Dennis come up with the idea? I think the both of us can answer this question, but let's let Gary answer it first. So Gary, what do you think was Dennis's idea to come up with this? Gary says he got a message in a dream. So Dennis had a vision, a dream. For you guys that, while he's still working on the rest of the answer to that, for you guys that don't know, he has a history of being in Honduras for 6 months with Impact Ministries. And at that point, as Gary mentions, he had a dream. And his dream was missions work, was to help orphans, to help children, to help adults, to feed people, to clothe them. And to further that, God gave him a calling to go to the Peoria Conference in November, the National Missionary Conference in November. And Dennis said, okay, I can go to that. But in this dream, he prayed to God and said, God, I want to try and do this. I want to help people. And Jesus came back and told him, are you willing to walk for it? And then he found out about Peoria. And he prayed about it. And God said, you need to go. I said, okay, I'll walk there. And that's fine. And then the next section was the National Conference about Israel in Washington, D.C. He said, okay, God, I'll go. I don't have the funds to go, but I'm going to go there. And he was there. He didn't actually attend the event, but he met some people. And we had an online broadcast that night, and it was awesome. He partnered with someone in Cincinnati by the name of David Mock that helped him establish his... what's the word I'm looking for? Business side of the ministry. And then he partnered with me throughout the whole event. Gary has been hosting the site. We have Talkbox.com that is doing the chat hosting, but it's all layered on AgapeJesus.com. Gary invited him to his home there in Georgia, Florida border, and stayed with him for a week. Went to church, went to different events in the area, and I think Gary fed him pretty good. From every time I got on the chat, I always heard about chicken and steak and stuff. So he got a lot of good food while he was there. So it was really awesome to see two ministry partners like that met online to totally meet. So that's the direction of what's going on with Dennis. I wanted to totally get Gary's thought process on it. As you guys know, I was trying to set things up for him through Georgia and Tennessee. Everyone thought that, carrying a 60 to 80 pound backpack, you would lose weight. Well, he's been fed so well, he hasn't really lost a lot of weight. He's just maintained or gained a little bit because he's walking so slow, he's not really getting that far. So we're going to take another break, and we'll be right back, and we'll close up our remarks about Dennis. Be right back.